सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमार्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. I welcome everyone who has been in temple and also those who are online. We are going forward with our journey to understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita, its context, what it wants to say to us, and how we can apply those principles in our daily life. That is a kind of study which we are doing, and that's the purpose. The purpose is to be happy. Why to study Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Because we want to be happy. That is the main purpose. If somebody will ask you, why do you study Srimad Bhagavad Gita? I want to be happy. Simple answer. Yeah, no moksha. No, nothing like a moksha, nothing like any kind of a greed that I want this or I want that. It is just it is merely to be happy. So last time we were looking at the happiness which is coming through our indriya. So we were on 34th sloka, which was which I will just chant quickly here, is that indriyasya indriyasyarthe. Yes, indriya and the objects which are connected, senses and sensitive object. Raga dvesho vyavasthito. What resides over there is in that is raga and dvesh. Yes, that is what is residing there. And then tayorna vashamagachet. So you do not be, we discuss about it, the mechanism of senses and sense object, and then how those things impact, the sense objects impacts our actions. That is what we studied last time. How being in control of sensing experience. It is not the control of the senses. It is being in control of sensual experience, which is considered as a detrimental, and that is considered as a परिपंथिनो तो हस्य परिपंथिनो, that is considered as a foe. दुश्मन है हमारा. So इंद्रिय हमारी दुश्मन नहीं है. हमारा जो sensual object है दुनिया हमारी दुश्मन नहीं है. हमारा दुश्मन जो है वो है experience, the sensual experience which we have in it, वो हमारा दुश्मन है. That is our दुश्मन. That is the place where we have to be careful with. We have to be very careful that we are not becoming slave of it. Tasha tayorna vasham agachet. We are not becoming slave of it. That is what we study. So the questions arises is that how do we live our life? How do we live our life? If we are not supposed to be the slave of our sensual experiences, how do we live our life? That's the question. We need a guideline. How our future actions are, because number one part is our future actions are based on our experience. Anybody who is deciding anything in the life is based on the past experience. छोटे से छोटा बच्चा रहने दो. If your hand is put in the fire, छोटे बच्चा पे अगर हाथ जल गया दिए को टच करके, he will not touch the lamp again. Even one who doesn't have that much of intellectual power. Past experiences, even in animals also. People put electrical fences around their yard. Why? The animals should not go outside the yard. What happens? The animal goes there once. First experience of electrocution is enough for everyone not to go to the electrical fence. That is what happens. So our future actions are based on the past experience. Now here if the God is telling that tayorna vashamagachet, you do not consider those experiences as the part of future action, how do I decide my action? That is the biggest question. How do I decide the actions in my life? Which action to choose so that we do not fall for the senses? Because if we do not follow the experience of the sense, then we do not feel happiness. We do not feel happiness, and that is why we have to follow the experiences, but then we should not be tayorna vashamagachet. That is what we studied last time. Now we'll go further on the next sloka. This sloka is extremely important. It is actually every sloka is important, but this sloka needs real good analysis. So today I will say specifically that we should be really thinking logically and deep in our mind about this sloka. Very, very important sloka. It is having lots of things. Actually on this sloka itself, somebody can write easily over 100 to 200 pages. But we will try to make it as short and as sweet as possible to understand it, and not to make it very complicated too. So I'll chant the 35th sloka of 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat swadharme nidanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. First we will understand the translation of it. What it means. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha. Even if our own natural prescribed duty, our dharma, is not that good, it is not that bad, it is not that vigunaha. Viguna means tinged with fault. It may have some fault in it. But still, Shreyan, yes, it is better. Swadharma, to perform the personal duty, our duty, the dharma, and a paradharma swanushtitat means the other dharma is best without any fault. It is excellent. Swanushtitat means perfectly done. Even if the other dharma is perfectly done and our own dharma has got some what you call tinge with faults, lacuna, whatever, still, even though swadharme nidanam shreya, it is better to die in swadharma and paradharmo bhayavaha. Following the paradharma is bhayavaha, is dangerous. It is fraught with fear. That is what is told in this sloka. This sloka has got a long impact. This sloka has got a historical connection. This sloka has got so many parts. So we will go one by one. Number one is that this sloka has created a big misunderstanding and misleading, as well as it has created the survival of Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma has survived because of one of the reason is this sloka. Why? Because there is a word dharma there. Dharma. In history, we have seen with the invasion of so many people from other faith, we have seen sacrificing of life by Hindus and not getting converted. Thousands and thousands of people have given their lives but not to get converted. They have either run away, they have given their life. मगर बदलेंगे नहीं. गले पे छुरी फेरेगी तो चलेगा. You cut my throat, but I will not convert. Why? Because of this sloka. People understood it in that way. I am just telling the historical background. Also, for future, this sloka is a perfect guidance to the students who wants to decide their career. This is a perfect guidance to the students who wants to decide the career. It is also guiding the people in general to decide the activities they should be indulging in life for living. This sloka guides that also. So here there are two words, swadharma. Twice it has come here. Swadharmo vigunaha and swadharme nidanam shreya. Swadharma. So there is swa and dharma. And this both word has to be clearly understood. What is swa and what is dharma? If we understand these two, then we will understand this meaning of the sloka. Number one. Other part is we have to remember that this sloka has come in karma yoga. It's very important that anything which is coming to us is coming with what reference. This sloka is coming to us with a reference of karma yoga, the action yoga. It is not coming as a bhakti yoga. It is not coming as a faith. So if this sloka is coming in karma yoga, then why we use the word dharma here? Because dharma is connected is religion in our mind and dharma is connected to bhakti, isn't it? Dharma में क्या होता है? भक्ति करो, भगवान को भजो, वही तो धर्म है. हिंदू धर्म, Islam dharma, common, very common understanding. So if the dharma word has come in karma yoga, that means it has got a message. It is not the common understanding of dharma what we have in mind and in general in society. We will try to understand that. It is not connected to belief. Remember, this word dharma is not connected. It is necessary to understand this. So let us take the word dharma first here. What is the meaning of the word dharma here? And then there are so many questions. So I will first put the questions there and then we will go further that what is dharma. So is it number one in our common understanding that dharma is religion? Hindu dharma, Isai dharma, Muslim dharma, Judaism dharma, sab dharma. We use the common word dharma there. But Srimad Bhagavad Gita is told before any of these religions came into picture. Over 5,000 years before. There was no Islam, there was no Christianity, there was no Judaism, there was nothing. So which dharma God is trying to say? That is the first question here. There are no religions which exist now. So which dharma is being referred to? And it is also called as a Swadharma. Why Swadharma? If it is a dharma, it should be common for the people. When it is told Swadharma Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha, that means what? The Swa means, is it this dharma what the God is talking about, is it for the individuals or is it for the society as a whole or it is for both? That is the question to be asked. A dharma, then it is told as Swadharma, it is for individual. Is it separate for each individual or is it for everyone? Then why Swadharma? It should be there told as everybody's dharma. So why Swadharma? Why the Swa word has come? And it is told it may have limitations or defects. Yeah. Vigunaha. It may have got some lacuna, what we call as limitations. Defects. So how is there a defect in dharma? If there is a dharma, how there is a defect in it? And if we know the defect, then why can't we remove those defects from the dharma? So that's another question. I am raising the question because one of the reasons is people don't raise the questions. So I have to raise the questions on my own over here. What's the thing? Yeah, why can't we? And other dharma su anustitat, perfectly done. So if it is written that the other dharma is perfectly done, that means that there are two parts in it. One is the dharma itself and other is the performer of that dharma. And that performance may be best, perfectly done or vigunaha, not done perfectly. So here the reference is with the person. The person is doing swadharma with little defects or the person is doing the paradharma with the best way. In either of the case, swadharme nidhanam shreya. Even if you are doing your dharma with little defects, with little lacuna, with little tinge with faults, it is better than paradharmo bhayavaha. The other dharma, paradharma, is dangerous. That is what it means. That means here we conclude two things. One, it is connected with the execution of the dharma, and second, it is connected to individuals, and maybe together individuals, it may be connected to the society. We will see further to it. So what is dharma? And then, you know what, when we say ask what is dharma, there are thousands and thousands of books are written. There are so many sages who have written hundreds and thousands of words to explain what is a dharma. Let us understand. Can we who has not got the education of Vedas and Shastras, how to understand in a simple term what is a dharma? We will try to do that. Dharma is our prescribed duty. Dharma means our prescribed duty. What is prescribed duty? Prescribed duty is decided based on our nature with which we are born. The true nature with which we are born is our dharma. So when the God is telling, Shri Krishna Bhagwan कहते हैं, ये तेरा क्षत्रिय धर्म है. Vishwamitra comes to Dashrath and says, send Ram and Lakshman to me and perform your क्षत्रिय धर्म. ऐसा कहते हैं ना, क्षत्रिय धर्म तुम्हारा बजाओ, तुम फॉलो करो उसको. What does it mean? There is something different. You will think about it. So it is based on what we are born with. and this is where the correct alignment of with Sanatan Varna Vyavastha is coming in picture. Sanatan Varna Vyavastha is coming in picture here very clearly to define what is dharma as per Sanatan Dharma. So what is Swadharma? Can there be different dharma for each person? That is number one. If somebody says my Swadharma is this, another person says my Swadharma is this, that means is there any commonality of dharma? If it is Swadharma, is it tailored to individuals? Can it be segregated and classified into some silos? Those are the questions. Any intelligent person who wants to understand dharma must have these questions in the mind. So if there is a Swadharma, that what we call as a meta, matter and antimatters. So if there is a Swadharma, there is Paradharma. So what is Paradharma? If my dharma is something, what is Paradharma and why it is dangerous? What is the danger in it? And if I do that, what is the danger in the result? So first part we will do is that first we will understand the mechanism of deciding our birth. This is where we are going to start. It is going to be a little long. I will try to be point to point on it. So number one, we have to decide how we are born and the science of rebirth. Our birth is based on our karma and our vasana, unsatisfied vasana. These are the two things which is the cause of our rebirth. हमारा जन्म क्यों होता है? क्योंकि एक हमारे कर्म का जो बंधन है, जो फल है, वो हमें भुगतना है, और दूसरा हमारी जो रह गई वासनाएं हैं, इच्छाएं हैं, उसकी पूर्ति के लिए हम दूसरा जन्म लेते हैं. We take another birth. So when we die, we have unsettled account. That is exactly what it means. We have unsettled account, and this account has got many line items. All those accountants all those people who have studied accounting, they know unless every line item has been settled, the balance sheet cannot be settled. That is why it is called as a balance sheet. So we have got outstanding line items in our account. We have got outstanding line items. We have got so many entries there. So the first one is settlement of karma and fruits. Which karma? Action towards the people, animals, trees, and the nature. That is the karma which we have. Now, you know what? When we talk about this point, there are so many bypass points are coming. Like diversions. When we travel, hum log jate hain, when we go on 401, you get the ramp. Exit to Markham Road, exit to McCowan. It is good to know that there is an exit and there is a road. But when you want to go straight, you do not take the exit. But at least you read the board. In the same way, we are going to read the board and we can talk about it again, but we will try to see that we are maintaining our line on 401 and we are not bypassing, going to the bypass. But it is important to read the board of the bypass so that at least we know that there was a road over here. So in the same way, in the karma settlement word, there is a bypass road, and that bypass road is pardon. I will just try to touch on it. Maafi. Now that road is used by many religions. अगर आप उसका कन्फेस करोगे तो आपको माफी मिलेगी. You do the confession and God will pardon you. This is not there in Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma में माफी से pardon नहीं होता, because that is violating the fundamental law of karma. अगर मैंने किसका बुरा किया है और मैंने माफी भी मांग ली, तो मुझे माफ अगर किया जाएगा, तो जिस आदमी का बुरा हुआ है उसको न्याय कहां से मिलेगा? The law of justice and the law of karma is not followed in the path of maafi, pardon. So we will stop there. Why? Because number one, Sanatan doesn't give any chance of pardoning for your karma. जो कर्म किया है भुगतने ही पड़ेंगे. आप भगवान हो तो भगवान भी अवतार लेके आएंगे तो उसको भी अपने कर्म भुगतने पड़ेंगे. So this is a big diversion road of pardon, but we will not go there. Why? Because we are following the path of karma yoga here. So number one is that we must settle our karma and our fruits. ये लाइन आइटम है, अकाउंट लाइन आइटम 1. हाँ, अंडर दैट हेडिंग एवरी कर्मा विल बी रिटर्न एंड द फ्रूट्स, गुड और बैड, ऐसा नहीं है. हाँ, गुड कर्मा भी इज हैविंग द सेम लाइन. बैलेंस शीट में क्या होता है, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन बैलेंस शीट, देयर इज अ क्रेडिट एंड डेबिट साइड. बैलेंस शीट डजंट सेटल अनलेस बोथ लाइन्स आर सेटल्ड, रिमेंबर. हाँ, यहाँ कोई हम लोग पाप, अत्याचार, क्रूरता उसकी नहीं बात करें. बहुत बहुत दान पुण्य की है, उसकी भी लाइन पड़ेगी और वो लाइन भी सेटल करनी पड़ेगी. So remember this. It is not to make people afraid of you. So that is one part. And the settlement of our emotions and feeling, vasna, love, hatred, envy, lust, greed, anger, etc., etc. So many things. Towards what? Towards people and objects. People and objects. उसके लिए हमारी वासनाएं रह जाती है. To resolve and the desires in the mind, lead to rebirth. This is clearly written. हमारी इच्छाओं और वासनाओं, resolves and desires in our mind, मन में रही हुई, lead to rebirth. We'll take a story, a small story. What happened? We all know the story. Generally I generally don't prefer to say story because we are talking about Shastra. And but I will say the story because it is reference to this. There was King Bharat. Everybody knows. If somebody wants to understand more in detail, they can Google it. No problem. So there was a King Bharat. Bharat Raja the. Bharat, he was a very good king. He was a great king. And then one day he decides that okay, I will leave my kingdom. I will go in the forest and I will do uplift. मेरे आत्मा की उन्नति के लिए मैं राज्य छोड़ दूंगा. So he left his kingdom and he was living like a sage in the forest. Yeah. So one day he is sitting over there. Now remember, he is a king. Okay. So his mind is still Kshatriya. His mind is still Kshatriya because he is a Kshatriya guy. He is a king. So one day he was just he was going and he saw that there is a deer. There is a female deer who is like full time pregnant and she was drinking the water at the bank of a river. वो नदी में से पानी पी रही थी हिरनी. And then one lion came. And the lion wanted to eat the deer. So lion roared and jumped. Now the deer was naturally very much alert, and the deer was जो हिरनी थी, she was very alert. So she jumped on the other side of the river, to the other side of the river bank, other bank. She jumped so hard that she could survive. She put her all efforts to escape, and she was able to escape also. But the problem which happened over there is that because she was pregnant for the full time, the last dates were going on, what happened that because of this whole anxiety and pressure and all that, she delivered the baby deer over there. She delivered, हिरनी ने बच्चे को जन्म दिया. And because of all this, crisis and everything, the mother died. हिरनी का मृत्यु हो गई वहाँ, और वो छोटा सा बच्चा अभी जन्मा है, very much just a very helpless, little, recently born deer, उसका बच्चा. That was just lying over there. So Bharat thought that I have to protect this now. I have to protect this young life. भरत ने हिरनी के बच्चे को उठा लिया, उसको खिलाने का, उसको ये करना वो करना, started nurturing the animal, and slowly the deer, it's its own life cycle. So deer became a very good deer, अच्छा तगड़ा, अच्छा मस्त, very nice to play with. It happened, and Bharat got connected with the deer. Now remember, here there is nothing to take. ऐसी कोई वासना नहीं है, मुझे इसके पास से कुछ चाहिए, गाय का है तो दूध मिलेगा, ऐसा nothing like that. He just loves the deer and loves to play with the deer, company of the deer. And then one day Bharat died, natural death. But because his vasana was in the deer, उसको हिरनी के बच्चे के साथ इतना प्यार हो गया कि भरत का जब दूसरा जन्म हुआ तो वो हिरण का जन्म हुआ. He became a deer. He got the rebirth as a deer. Why? Because he got engrossed with a deer, the attachment, the connection. So it is not only कि भाई मुझे कुछ लालच थी या greed थी. Even the simplest connection can also create the rebirth in that form. That is the story of Bharat. And then you can read the further story of Jad Bharat and all on Google, no problem. That is why the King Bharat was reborn as a deer. And second part is important thing that we are born where we decide. I will repeat the sentence. We are born where? We are born at a place where we have decided, and we get a body and the environment to settle that account. That is why Bharat was born as a deer. Why? There was an attachment with the deer. So he became a deer to resolve, to balance that balance sheet, to settle the account. So again there is a side comment. Again there is a little diversion. There is a board over there, like a little board, and we have to remember that there is a board there. We will not go into it, but we have to remember the board is there. So here what is the side comment? So there is no reason. There is absolutely no reason to put the blame on God or whatever. Why am I born in this situation? भगवान तुमने मुझे यहाँ कहाँ पैदा किया? मुझे इतनी गरीबी में पैदा किया, मुझे इतना गधा बनाया, मुझे इतना उल्लू का पट्टा बना. We blame God. जो सिचुएशन में मुझे क्यों पैदा किया गया? Why am I born in such a filthy situation? I was poor. There was no resources. There was a political imbalance. There was a killing going on. There was no resources for a comfortable living. There were no people around. Any amount of complaint. कुछ भी complain. We complain. We complain. Oh, why am I born? मैं यहाँ क्यों पैदा हो गया? ये complain नहीं करना है. क्यों नहीं करना है? Why we should not complain? Because our birth is based on our choice. पूरे जन्म में, पहले वाले जन्म में आपने सोचा था. There is a little story. There is a nice story. It's a funny story. That there was a Seth. The Seth was making a big building. ऐसे बड़े सा हवेली बना रहा था. Now Seth is very rich. This guy is very rich, Seth. The rich man. So he's making a big nice bungalow, around 3-4 story bungalow. But why he is rich? Because he is doing lots of business. And so while doing business, he has to move around. He has to travel from city to city, and he is always busy with the business. He has got 3, 4, 5 different businesses. So naturally, he has got less time for the family. So he is traveling. Now this Setani, the wife of the rich man, is lonely, feeling lonely. So one day she is watching, because now the building is going on, there is some repairing and everything going on. These laborers who are working, who are constructing the building, they are sitting below. नीचे वो बैठे थे. And there was a lunch time. So this Setani's, these laborers, there are husband, wife, they are coming, they are lifting the brick, and they are, putting the mortar and, fixing the wood, and all these construction worker, we know the activities, they were doing it. And now there was a lunch time. Now because there is a lunch time, they were sitting together, and what is there? Now it's a poor people. So what lunch they have got? They have got some, couple of chapatis, rotis, and some onion, and, little vegetable here and there. No much great food, just enough for the nourishment and, fill the stomach. So they both open the lunch box. She has prepared something at home before coming to the job, and then they are eating. And they are eating and they are talking, they are laughing. They are husband, wife, sansar jeevan hai. They are laughing. Now this Setani, the rich man's wife, is looking from the top, 3rd floor se niche, and she is looking at, wow, what a happy married life. She has the husband next to him all the time. They work together. They are enjoying. Life ho to aisi. Life aisa. Like people say like this. Life ho to aisi. Aisi zindagi honi chahiye. Kya husband ka idhar? Yeah, husband घूमते रहता है. Husband is going here, there, no time for me. ऐसी जिंदगी, भगवान जिंदगी हो तो ऐसी. So God noted. Okay. She likes the laborer's wife. Okay, noted. Requirement. In the same time, when they are talking, this laborer's wife is talking we are making such a big building and this Setani is going to live in it. Such a beautiful building. We can't afford even to have a small house. She is having almost a mansion for her. Life ho to aisi. Life ho to aisi. Like that. What happened? God noted. Okay, Setani. Life of a Setani. They noted. So now in the rebirth, now I am telling it in a lighter mode, as a joke part. So the next janam mein Setani becomes the Mazdur becomes Setani. Now when they become Mazdur, when the Setani became a laborer wife, oh my God, where am I born? I have to work every day, lift work, heavy load and all. Start. Papa, you only asked that I want this life because this is best. You told like this, best. So that side comment is that there is no reason to put the blame because we have asked for it. That is important part. Remember, कभी गुस्सा नहीं होना और गाली नहीं देना. भगवान मुझे ऐसा क्यों कर दिया, मेरा ऐसा क्यों हो गया, मुझे ही क्यों हो गया, वगैरह वगैरह. Because you asked for it. So this was a side road, okay? We will still continue in our karma because otherwise, people forget that where we are. So point was, we decide what body and what environment we need. What I need. और भगवान तो कृपालु. People sometimes ask, अरे भगवान कृपालु है तो वो आदमी का एक्सीडेंट हो गया, दोनों टांग कट गई, both his legs are now amputated. भगवान ऐसा कैसा कृपालु, ऐसा कैसा दयालु? You ask for it in some janma. He is mother. आपने chocolate मांगा, he gives you chocolate. Setani asked for to become a laborer's wife. Okay, I will give you. वो तो जो मांगा बच्चा ने जो मांगा वो दिया. That is how it works. Karma yoga. Remember, there is no bhakti here. This is a complete karma yoga we are talking about. So we decide. Now the third point is now to perform whatever we decided, the body and the functions and the environment around it. Now we are in it. Now to perform this life as we decided and we are obliged. We decided with our ichhas, with our wish and obliged with our karma phal. कर्म के फल के लिए हम obliged है और इच्छा के लिए हमारी decided है. Then we get inherent quality. So now to do that action, we get inherent quality. Let us take the example of the Bharat again. When he became deer, why he became deer, the body of a deer? Because the inherent quality, what he liked. अरे कैसा कुत्ता है, हिरन कैसा इधर जाता है, उधर जाता है. So he got a body of a deer. Otherwise, how he can jump around? Suppose the Bharat would have become another man in another life, then he could not have jumped around like a deer, not enjoyed. He could not have enjoyed that life unless he has a body and the capacity to enjoy what he wanted. He doesn't. And that is why he became a deer. So, the important part is to perform in this life what we decided and obliged, we get inherent qualities and skills to perform during that life. During that life. हमने जो इच्छा की है, I always joke on it that एक सेठ से, there was a सेठ who always like sweets, jalebi, he liked jalebi so much, jalebi. While it was dying, he was still thinking about jalebi. अरे अभी क्या मैं जलेबी नहीं खा सकता, I can't eat jalebi, doctor told me no, I know jalebi, no. He is always thinking about jalebi and he dies. What happens? He become a fly and sit on the jalebi. Now somebody will ask, why he become a fly? Why can't he become another man and eat jalebi? No. Why? Because the taste of the sweetness can be most experienced by the fly. Suppose, and I can prove it also. Suppose एक घर में एक जगह पे आप जलेबी रख दो, you keep a small jalebi, and then do you expect that smell of that jalebi can be experienced by a person who is going on the road and comes to the jalebi? No. But the fly comes. Why? Because fly has got sensitivity. Fly has got that tongue to enjoy the jalebi. So when you ask for, I need jalebi, God made you a fly. That is why you become a fly. You don't become a human. Why? Because the enjoyment of that sensual object is best experienced by that body. That is how it works. The skills. So we also get the skill, same thing. The fly gets the skill how to go around, how to go through the window crack, how to go to that and then sit on the jalebi. So we have got the personal skills, we have got the body, and we have got inherent quality to satisfy the desires and to complete the obligations of our karma phala. That is what it is. And this answers two major questions. Number one question is why each person is different. हर एक आदमी अलग अलग क्यों है? इसीलिए अलग है because everybody's balance sheet is different. Everybody's desires are different. That is why people are different. That is why we see siblings, twins, even Siamese twins, co-joint twins. वो जिसका सिर चढ़ा हुआ है ऐसा, we see those things. Even they have got different nature. You see Siamese kids, you ask them, they have got different choices. Though सिर है, body same है, you ask them, one head will tell that I like sweets, the other person will say I like fried foods. Even though their stomach is same. Why? Because they are different. That is why each person is different. The answer to why each person is different is this answer. And then the second question, then why the fate? हमारा नसीब क्यों अलग अलग है? इसी वजह से अलग अलग है. The same reason is also explaining why our fortunes, हमारा नसीब क्यों अलग अलग है. The kids who are raised in the same environment with the same thing are coming out with totally different result. How? This is the matter. This is the reason. So this is an answer. भगवान मुझे क्यों नहीं किया, भगवान मेरा ये क्यों हुआ? This is the answer. मेरा भाई इतना कमाया, हम दोनों साथ में पढ़ते थे. This is the answer. This is the answer. We have got so many answers when we read this. The second part is the political side. We are going to talk about the political side. Because we are taking practical example. Remember, we are not talking only about Bhagwan. We have to understand. So second part is that that is why even if we give same money and same resources to two persons, they are different. Remember, that is what is the first point. That is why when we give same money and same resources, same opportunity to two persons, the results are different. So where is this touching in recent life, our everyday life? The big slogan everywhere, in Western countries, in Asian countries, in India, everywhere. What is the slogan? Garibi hatao. Garibi hatao, Garibi hatao. Everywhere for hundreds of years. Garibi hatao. Right from Robin Hood. Robin Hood also told, Garibi hatao. अमीरों को लूटो और गरीब को दे दो. अमीरों को लूटो, गरीब को दे दो. Robin Hood told same thing. So it is not present government. From beginning, Garibi hatao, Garibi hatao. And the one who can shout more, one who can do more, propaganda will be coming in power. Garibi hatao slogan. But it is not practical and it is fake created. It is created with a fake understanding. It is only created for the political purpose. There were poor at the time of Ram and Krishna. वो टाइम पे रिमेम्बर वो आता है ना, स्टोरी आती है ना कि राजसूया यज्ञ किया. in India, in Varanasi, there is a Dashashwamegh Ghat. Ashwamegh Ghat means where there are 10 Ashwamegh Yajnas are done. That is a location, great location. Wow, people should go. People go for a, what is called as I don't remember now the word, the location marriage and location this. Go to these locations. Find your ancestry. Be proud of what you are born in. Anyway, because people will say it is my money and I know the thing. So I will not go into that. But the point is here is that people say, garibi. So what am I? Rajasuya Yajna bhi hota tha. There were Rajasuya Yajna. And what is written? You read Mahabharata. लाखों गरीबों को दान दिया गया, इसको दान दिया गया, गायों का दान हुआ. All this explanation, read Mahabharata during Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthir. Tons and tons of golds and diamonds were given. So given to whom? Rich people. There were poor people. 2 साल तक खाना चलता रहा. तो खाना खाने के लिए कौन बैठे थे पत्रावली में, राजसूय यज्ञ में? So there are always poor people. There are always poor people. There are always rich people. And we talked about this last time also, around 2 sessions before, that it is not the equal distribution. It is the equal happiness. That is what is to be targeted. Anyway, so this is what. So there will be always poor and rich. Poor and rich हमेशा रहेंगे. So people who say कि हम poverty, employment, ये does not work. People, those who talk about that way, they have not read and understood Shastras. Shastra की understanding नहीं है. And then the people fall for it. They give vote and all that. Not only, at one place, everywhere. In Western countries, in Europe, in Middle East, in Asian countries, everywhere. Why? So this is answering that. This is the answer. Why we are talking about it? Because this is giving an answer to, because people are different, their skills are different, their desires are different, the outcome will be different. So because of some people's skills and desires, they will remain poor. That doesn't mean that they will be unhappy. They will remain poor but not unhappy. So Sanatana Dharma is talking about happiness. And that happiness is coming with Sahana Bhavatu Sano. Why we have to say Rigved ka Shanti Mantra? We always chant Sahana Bhavatu Sano Bhunaktu. That means what? We are all going to live together. That means what? Rich, poor, capable, incapable, highly skilled, unskilled. Everybody will be Sahana Bhavatu Sano Bhunaktu. That is what Sanatana Dharma is telling. That is what Sanatana Dharma. Very important. Feast for the poor during the yajnas. Now, this is also defining our prescribed duty. I always say prescribed duty. What is the prescribed duty? Science also confirms and talks about genetic impression. There are experiments done which prove that the qualities are received from the parents and ancestors. It is proved. And that is why there is a in our Shodasha Sanskar, there are 3 sanskars which are done before the birth. Prag Janma Sanskar, Pusava Sanskar, and Simantonayan Sanskar. What is this Sanskar? We will take 2 minutes on that. We will just divert from Karma Yoga. What is this Sanskar? We are telling the souls. हम ऐसे soul को लाना चाहते हैं. See, every parent wants a great son or daughter. है ना? हमारा बच्चा बहुत बड़ा होना चाहिए, दुनिया में नाम करना चाहिए. मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन. जग में मेरा लाल दुलारा. तुझे धूप सूरज कहूं या चंदा. That is a song. जग में नाम रोशन करेगा. तो कैसे रोशन करेगा? He should come with that skill and capacity, right? नहीं तो बड़े से बड़ा rich man person also is a rich man son is also useless. So now going towards it, that is why there is a Pusavan Sanskar. Even before you decide to have family planning, you should clean yourself. If you have a dirty plate, the food, even if there is a good food put in it, it will become soiled. People say, हम साइंस में मानते हैं, पुसवन संस्कार नहीं करेंगे, सीमंतो संस्कार नहीं करेंगे, प्राक जन्म संस्कार नहीं करेंगे. But we will expect a great soul, a capacity. That soul, because as we talk, that we decide our life. Unless the bowl is ready for collecting the good food, how can we expect a good food will come into it? The soul which will not decide to come into your house. So we have to clean ourselves. And these are the Pusavan Sanskar and all these things are telling us. I'll not go into the detail. Anybody who is interested, again, Google it. But this is the reason why these Shoda Sanskars are given. The kid should become a big person and enlighten his life and parents' name in the world. But how will such soul will select the womb of a mother when the mother herself is not up to the mark? That is the thing. So I think because this sloka has got great meaning and there are so many points to talk, again next week when we are coming and meeting again on Wednesday 6 to 6:45. We will talk about this sloka further, and you know, we may not be able to do our prescribed duties in perfect way. Why, how, and that is what we will think further. So till then, I wish everyone a great time. Enjoy your time. It's cold. Take flu shots. Don't fall sick. Wear good clothes, and you know, keep yourself warm. So till then, I wish everyone a good time. When we meet next Wednesday again 6 to 6:45. Vasudevasutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha.